I'm going to actually steal that phrase, how do you lead beyond the line of sight?
Beyond your line of sight.
I love that phrase.
Yeah, it's super important because I think for many people, somewhere in their career, even if you don't have a large team, you are going to be influencing someone that you may not know as well, you may not see every day. Maybe some partner may not even be an employee within the same company. You got to figure out, how do you lead? How do you drive impact? How do you do that faster and better, even when you don't intimately know everything going on? I'm originally a computer science, electrical engineering guy. I went to grad school in that, but my career kind of has taken a lot of different turns. I spent time as a software developer working with defense organizations. I spent some time with Microsoft. But through most of the roles were somewhere at the intersection of product and technology, or sometimes a dose of strategy. And then I had the privilege of joining Amazon back in 2013, so just hit my 10-year anniversary a couple months ago. I've had a variety of different roles, but all in some form or fashion in and around our seller business. And for the last roughly 2 years, I've had the privilege of leading the Selling Partner Services organization.
Could you tell us a little more about Selling Partner Services team, and what does your team do?
So our selling partners, they span the gamut from brand new entrepreneurs with an idea who are just getting started, all the way to large multinational global brands that are well known and well recognized. And our goal is to both create a very trustworthy shopping and selling experience, and to help our selling partners really thrive, to provide them powerful tools that accelerate that growth.
Does your team enable that balance between the customer and the sellers, and making sure that you're prioritizing both?
We are a customer-obsessed company. It's a leadership principle. It's our first leadership principle, and it is a super important part of having a day one culture. And for many teams that work on building amazing experiences for the shopping customer, they often find that very relatable, because almost all of us, if not all of us, shop on Amazon. And so we know what it's like to be a customer. We have lots of friends and family and colleagues and other people we know who are shoppers on Amazon and give us rich feedback and their stories. The delightful thing is that we only succeed if our selling partners succeed. And so the joy of building for all these amazing entrepreneurs and these small, medium-sized businesses, they're also interested in creating long-term successful businesses. They're interested in delighting customers, providing great products, great service after the fact.
Every seller is unique, like every customer is unique, right? They have their own expectations of what they want to do, and there's so many variables around it. I think it's difficult to even imagine the amount of work that goes in to create those scalable, sustainable structures that gives them the right tools and enables them from tech to the right knowledge. I think it's just a lot of variables to manage.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We have millions of sellers all around the world, and they really do span that gamut. And it's been interesting being here in India, and I spent a bunch of time with sellers here too, even just this week. And if you go to the US and you talk to some of our largest sellers, they increasingly are primarily brand owners now. They've invented their own brands, and that's really they have a small number of brands, they've got a relatively small catalog, and they're trying to drive success of that brand. So one of the things we launched recently was using generative AI to help these small, medium-sized businesses create these product listings. And so, we started with, just give us a short description, and then we would try and generate a bunch of this information. And we present that to the seller, and now they just gotta verify and then submit.
If you have a new team member or a new Amazonian joining on the team, what would be your advice?
First is, if you're new to Amazon, spend time really trying to learn our leadership principles and about our kind of day one culture. But I think for new folks, obviously we hired these people because we think they're amazing at something. We think they're going to raise the bar in some area. But for them to be successful at Amazon, they're going to have to figure out how to also excel at our leadership principles and then continue to make it better.